The tall, gangly thing?
What's up, guys? My name is Gangly, and welcome to the first episode of TFT 101. In this series, I will break down the fundamentals of TFT so that you can learn how to play and improve your placements. This episode, we're going to talk about item carriers. One of the biggest mistakes that the majority of TFT players make is waiting for the perfect combination of items and units instead of utilizing an item carrier. So first, let's talk about what is a carry and what is an item carrier. First, a carry. A carry is a priority unit that is stacked with items to become the primary win condition of your comp and is kept through the end of the game. This unit is often supplemented with additional synergies in order to maximize their damage output. On the other hand, an item carrier is a transitional unit that can utilize your carry's items until you find your carry. These units can use a carry's items well, but aren't strong enough to carry you in the late game. They are usually sold when you find your carry. Now, why are item carriers important? TFT is a game about managing the economy of your gold, health, and board strength. Rather than bleeding out health by not making items, you can use an item carrier to improve your board strength, therefore preserving health and allowing you to save gold until you're high enough level to roll for your carry. From here, let's break down the best item holders for each traditional carry. Ahri's primary items are Jeweled Gauntlet, GA, IE, Rabadon's, and Hand of Justice. Because these items reward high burst damage, functional item carriers are Lissandra, TF, Nidalee, and Kindred. Akali's primary items are RFC, Blue, and IE. Depending on which items you build first, you can use Aphelios for IE or RFC, or Teemo or Lissandra for blue buff, or you can use Twisted Fate for a more flexible item carrier. Ashe is by far the most flexible carry in the game and can use items such as Last Whisper, Infinity Edge, Giant Slayer, Hand of Justice, RFC, Rageblade, Runan's Hurricane, GA, and QSS. With that in mind, auto attack based units work best with these items, such as Vayne, TF, Aphelios, Zed, and Kindred. Jhin is another flexible carry and can utilize items such as Last Whisper, IE, Giant Slayer, RFC, Runan's, GA, and QSS. He'll use the same item carriers as Ashe in Vayne, TF, Aphelios, Zed, and Kindred. Morgana is a unique carry, really only using a few items such as Morellos and Ludens. She also uses generic items such as Locket and Chalice, but those items can be used on most units. Strong item carriers will be TF, Lissandra, Pyke, and Kennen. Riven utilizes defensive and utility items to carry, such as Bramble Vest, Dragon Claw, QSS, Sunfire Cape, Ionic Spark, and Blue Buff. While the blue buff can be used on AP carries such as Lissandra, Teemo, and Kindred, the defensive items can be used by any 2-star frontline that you have available. Talon is another AD-based carry and uses items such as Last Whisper, IE, Runan's, Bloodthirster, Giant Slayer, Deathblade, and GA. He'll also rely on AD-based item carriers such as Vayne, TF, Aphelios, Zed, and Kindred. Veigar is another burst mage, primarily using items such as Blue Buff, Hextech Gunblade, Hand of Justice, Jeweled Gauntlet, and QSS. His primary item carriers are Lissandra, TF, and Nidalee. Warwick is one of the few AD champions that has very specific itemization. Typically, he prefers Runan's Hurricane, Deathblade, and QSS, but he can also use RFC and Hodge. Sharpshooters and strong AD champs like Aphelios, Zed, Callista, and Kindred will be your preferred carriers. Like Warwick, Zed also prefers a specific set of items. His preferred items are RFC, Runan's Hurricane, and QSS. He can also utilize Rageblade, Hand of Justice, Last Whisper, and Infinity Edge. Zed is unique because he's a 2-cost unit and typically easier to 2-star. However, when running Zed, you'll want to put his items on any sort of cheap 2-star backline auto-attacking champion if it will make your team stronger. Some examples are TF, Vayne, Nidalee, Teemo, and Aphelios. If you end up with a Kindred before Zed 2, also feel free to play that. Overall, I'm sure you're seeing a trend. You have your AD item carriers in Vayne, TF, Aphelios, Zed, Callista, and Kindred. Then you have your AP item carriers in Lissandra, TF, Nidalee, Teemo, and Kindred. And you can use most frontline units such as Brawlers and Vanguards as defensive item carriers. Use these units until you find your carry and build a board strong enough to win you the game. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what other topics you'd like to see covered in this series. Take care.